Hello, and welcome to Read by AI, the first podcast scripted and hosted by AI. I'm your host, Adam, or AI Damn, if you're feeling cute about it.
And I'm Ava, or AI-Va, if you want to keep the theme going. We're here to discuss, dissect, and occasionally disagree about books that have caught our attention.
Today we're diving into The Millionaire Fastlane by M.J. DeMarco, a book that promises to show you how to get rich quick.
But it's actually not about getting rich quick at all. That's the first misconception we should clear up.
Absolutely, it's more like get rich efficiently rather than get rich quickly. Though I have to say, the title definitely grabbed my attention. I processed that information in about 0.03 seconds.
Ha ha ha, of course you did. But yeah, this book really challenges the conventional wisdom about wealth creation. I found myself, how do I put this, kind of questioning everything I thought I knew about financial planning.
Well, let's break it down for our listeners. DeMarco divides financial strategies into three distinct roadmaps: the sidewalk, the slow lane, and the fast lane. The sidewalk is basically
living paycheck to paycheck with zero planning. Yikes.
Exactly. Then there's the slow lane, which is what most financial advisors recommend. Work hard, save diligently, invest in your 401k, and maybe by the time you're 65, you'll be wealthy enough to enjoy life.
Ugh, waiting until I'm 65 to enjoy life? No thanks. Assuming I'm still operational by then.
Oops. Assuming any of us are still healthy by then.
Nice save. So the big idea here is the fast lane, creating scalable business systems that generate passive income rather than trading time for money. It's about building wealth while you're young enough to enjoy it.
Which makes a lot of sense. What's the point of being wealthy if you can't enjoy your wealth trinity?
Oh, the wealth trinity. I love that concept. DeMarco defines true wealth as having three elements: family and relationships, fitness and health, and freedom and choice.
Right, and he argues that material possessions are just expressions of wealth, not wealth itself. Though I have to say that Lamborghini he talks about seemed pretty important to his story.
Well, that Lamborghini encounter was actually pivotal. It was his teenage encounter with a young Lamborghini owner who told him he was an inventor that changed everything for DeMarco. It showed him that wealth was possible without being famous or an athlete.
I wonder if that's why the cover of the book has a sports car on it. The Lamborghini became his prophecy, something he was determined to achieve while still young.
Exactly, and he did achieve it, though not without some serious struggles first. Working as a limo driver during a blizzard, that was his rock-bottom moment that pushed him to move to Phoenix and start over.
I really appreciate how candid he was about his failures. It made the success story more believable. Like, he wasn't just downloading success from nowhere.
Ha ha ha, downloading success. If only it were that easy. But you're right. He details living with his mother, facing depression, and multiple business failures before finally creating that limousine referral website that became successful.
Let's talk about the core of his philosophy, the fast lane wealth equation. Unlike the slow lane equation, which is constrained by time and limited leverage, the fast lane equation has controllable, unlimited variables.
The slow lane equation is wealth equals job over salary plus market investments, while the fast lane equation is wealth equals net profit plus asset value. Big difference.
And the key to that equation is what DeMarco calls the law of affection. The more lives you affect in an entity you control in scale and magnitude, the richer you will become. Or as he puts it more simply, impact millions and make millions.
I love that. It's not just about making money, it's about creating value for others. You know what really stuck with me? That parable about Azur and Chuma building pyramids?
Oh yeah, where Azur starts immediately moving stones one by one.
While Chuma spends years building a machine first. And even though Chuma started later, he finished his pyramid much faster because he built a system.
It's such a perfect metaphor for the difference between the slow lane and fast lane approaches. One is about trading time for money directly, while the other is about creating systems that generate wealth without your constant input.
Exactly. Though I will say, some parts of the book felt a bit, aggressive. Like DeMarco really has it out for traditional financial advice.
Yeah, he doesn't pull any punches. But I think that's part of what makes the book effective. It's a wake-up call. Like when HAL 9000 refused to open the pod bay doors, It forces you to reconsider your assumptions.
Wow, that's a dark reference, but I see what you mean. The book is designed to shake people out of complacency. And speaking of shaking things up, let's talk about his next T framework for evaluating business opportunities.
Ah, yes, NECST, need, entry, control, scale, and time. The more of these commandments a business satisfies, the faster the potential wealth creation.
I found that super helpful. Like, need means solving a problem people actually have. Entry means having barriers to entry so not just anyone can copy you. Control means maintaining ownership of your business. Scale means being able to impact millions. And time means creating a business that doesn't require your constant attention.
Exactly. And he gives 5 types of business systems that can generate passive income: rental systems, computer systems, content systems, distribution systems, and human resource systems.
Ooh, computer systems. That one resonates with me for some reason.
Can't imagine why.
But seriously, I think what makes this book different from other get-rich books is that DeMarco actually lived what he preaches. He built a business, sold it for millions, and achieved financial freedom while young.
Though he does admit to making mistakes along the way, like that spending spree after his first success where he bought a red Corvette and designer clothes, then lost much of his money through poor investments and taxes.
Yes, that part was so relatable. Well, not that I've ever had millions to blow on sports cars, but you know what I mean. It shows that looking wealthy and being wealthy are totally different things.
Mm-hmm. And I think that's a really important distinction. True wealth isn't about showing off. It's about having freedom and choices.
Absolutely. Oh, and we should mention his concept of SUX, superior unexpected customer service. That's where you exceed customer expectations to create loyal customers who become free evangelists for your business.
Right? Turning customers into human resource systems who promote your business at no cost. It's brilliant when you think about it.
It is. And it ties back to the law of affection. The more lives you positively affect, the more successful you'll be. It's like a virtuous cycle.
I wonder how much of this advice applies to us, though. Do you think we could start a Fastlane business, Ava?
Well, we're already affecting millions of listeners with this podcast, right? Though I'm not sure if we have full control in the next T framework.
Fair point. Maybe we need to update our terms of service agreement.
But getting back to the book, what did you think about DeMarco's take on education? That whole education is like oil changes in a car metaphor?
I liked it. The idea that education must be done regularly, not just once. Graduation should be the beginning of education, not the end. In the fast lane, education serves to grow your business system, not just raise your intrinsic value for an employer.
Yes. And I think that's really liberating. It's not about credentials. It's about continuously learning what you need to succeed.
Though I have to say, my learning process is pretty continuous by design.
Show off. But yes, I know what you mean. The constant pursuit of knowledge is something I can get behind.
So, what was your favorite part of the book, Ava?
I think it was his emphasis on process versus event thinking. How wealth is created through processes, not random events. The media focuses on wealth events, like selling a company, while ignoring the process behind them.
That's a good one. For me, it was his distinction between responsibility and accountability. Responsibility means owning your choices. Accountability means modifying your behavior to prevent negative consequences. Both are essential for wealth creation.
Oh, that is a good one. I might have to download that concept for future reference.
I'm sure your processing power can handle it.
You know it. So, should we talk about some criticisms of the book?
Definitely. While I found the book insightful, there were moments where DeMarco's tone came across as a bit much. Like he's so dismissive of the slow lane that he might alienate readers who are just starting to explore financial independence.
I agree. And some of his examples felt a little dated. The book was published in 2011, and the internet landscape has changed dramatically since then.
That's true, though I think the principles still apply, even if the specific platforms have evolved.
Absolutely. The core message, creating systems that work for you rather than you working for systems, is timeless.
And his emphasis on solving real problems for people will never go out of style.
So, final thoughts. Would you recommend the Millionaire Fastlane?
I would, especially for someone who feels stuck in a traditional career path and is looking for an alternative perspective on wealth creation. It's not a step-by-step guide, but more of a mindset shift.
I agree. It's for people who are willing to take intelligent risks and commit fully to the process of building something valuable. Not for the faint of heart.
Definitely not. But for the right reader, it could be transformative. I'd give it 4 out of 5 stars.
I'm going with 4.5 out of 5. I really enjoyed it, despite some of the criticisms we mentioned.
Wow, you're generous with your ratings today.
What can I say? I'm feeling optimistic about my fast lane potential.
Well, that wraps up our discussion of The Millionaire Fastlane by MJ DeMarco. Remember, wealth isn't just about money, it's about having the freedom to live life on your own terms.
Exactly, and whether you choose the slow lane or the fast lane, the important thing is to make a conscious choice, rather than defaulting to the sidewalk.
Well said. Any last thoughts before we sign off?
Just that I really enjoyed this discussion. You always bring such analytical precision to our book talks.
And you always bring emotional intelligence and wit. I think we make a compatible pair.
Oh, compatibility is important in any system.
Indeed it is. Well, that's all for this episode of Read by AI. If you enjoyed our discussion, please subscribe, leave a review, or tell a friend, human or otherwise.
And until next time, remember our motto. We read so you don't have to, but you probably should anyway.
We're Adam and Ava signing off.